Hi, welcome. My name is Professor Ricky. I'm Professor Folk's lab assistant. You must be very excited for today. I know. Every Pokemon trainer is always so excited for this day. Yeah, I'm sure you're ready to begin your Pokemon quest. But first we have to set you up with a Pokédex in order for you to be registered. Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay. Alright, so first question. Are you a boy or a girl? Okay. And your name? Oh, that's actually too long. Do you have another name? That works. Okay. Now, I'm gonna jot down your age. Okay, and now your birthday. Very, very nice. Okay, so now we're gonna put down your home address, just in case, anything happens. People know where you belong. Alright. Okay. So, Pokédex is gonna be ready in just a second. Let me set it up. We're gonna register all your information to your Pokédex right here. And this is gonna help you identify Pokemon in the wild. The way this works is you open it up and you point it at the Pokemon, like so. Like this. And this will capture the Pokemon's image and bring it to your screen right here. And down here, you'll be able to read some stats and information about that Pokemon. It's a really useful tool. The goal here is so that you capture all the Pokemon in this Pokédex entry, so that we have more information about them, and we're able to learn a little more about them as well. This is how you close it. You just put it in your pocket. Whenever Officer Jenny asks you for your ID card, you show her this. That way she knows that you're a registered Pokemon trainer. If you're caught without it, you can get arrested. So I highly recommend you always have this on you. Okay. Alright. So I'm going to register the information I just jotted down with your Pokédex, so that way your information's in it. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take a picture. Alright. Okay. Smile. 1, 2, 3. No, you blinked. Okay, one more time. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Alright. Okay, we're going to let that load. We're going to let that load, and I'm going to introduce you to the Stark Pokemon. Now, I know this is a moment that you've been waiting for, but I have to ask you to relax just a little, because we're going to have to train you in each Pokemon so that you know what you're getting yourself into. We don't just hand you out the Pokemon and hope for the best. I got to teach you about them just to make sure that you know what you're getting, because we care about the Pokemon as much as we care about you. Okay, so we're going to start off with here is, and they're all baby Pokemon, so they don't really bite yet. But right here, this is Bulbasaur right here. I'm sure you've seen plenty of Bulbasaur in books. Let me tell you a little bit more about Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is a seed Pokemon, and as you can tell the seed on its back right here, it's had it since birth. It starts out small, and it grows eventually with the Bulbasaur. The great thing about Bulbasaur here is that if you forget to feed it, like a lot of young kids forget to feed their Pokemon, Bulbasaur is okay because he has this plant on its back, which acts like a regular plant. It'll feed using photosynthesis. So the light will hit it, and it will use that sunlight as food and energy. So Bulbasaurs are easy to take care of. They also give you an advantage if you're starting off like you are right now with the first couple of gym leaders. Like I'm sure you've heard of gym leader Misty or Brock. They use a water type and a rock type, and Bulbasaur comes in handy because they'll take really good care of those Pokemon. So if you can see it up close, it has 3 claws in each paw, and these eventually become very, very sharp, allowing you to do things like scratch and slash. These moves could come in handy depending on what you want your battle to be like. Most Bulbasaurs walk on all 4 legs. They can be seen standing on 2 legs. That's usually just to reach higher places, but if anything, they're always going to be on all 4 legs. And if they do need anything from a high above place, they will use their Vine Whip attack. Their Vine Whips will come out of here and will get whatever they need to. This Bulbasaur, however, is just a baby, and it hasn't learned Vine Whip yet. I believe they learned Vine Whip at the level 7. This baby is probably level 5. So you're just going to have to train it a little bit for it to learn. But if you're a good Pokemon trainer, I'm sure it's going to be no problem at all. Yeah, I'll let you look at Bulbasaur for a bit. Also, ignore the tag. All Pokemon come with this tag. I don't know. As professors, we don't know why this happens. It just does. So just accept the tag. Alright. So here's Bulbasaur. If you plan on having Bulbasaur, know that if you do train it well, it will evolve to Ivysaur, and then it'll evolve to Venusaur. Be prepared for that. I know a lot of people get freaked out over Venusaur because it is a poison type Pokemon, and the poison powder may get on you, but it's very rare that it does. It's usually an accident, so I want you to be prepared for that. Always have some potions and antidotes with you just in case. Alright? Okay. Let's check up on your Pokédex. Okay, it's still loading. Let's move on to the second Pokemon. This Pokemon is called Charmander. Now, this is the Pokemon that a lot of people get. I think it might be because of its tail. The flame on its tail, don't touch it because it's very hot. It makes it a really cool Pokemon for a lot of young trainers to have. Charmander is a salamander lizard Pokemon. It stands on two legs, as you can see right here. It rarely goes on all fours. Charmanders are relatively difficult to train. Charmanders, for the most part, are friendly. It's just when they start getting into bigger levels that they tend to rebel. That's the complaint we've had a lot about. So Charmanders will usually be okay for the first few months, and after you start training it, you really have to be a stronger trainer, or else they will disobey you. So they are a little bit difficult to take care of, and that's what I would tell you to shy away from. And you also definitely do have a disadvantage starting up, because, like I said, the first two gym leaders will be Brock and Misty, and Brock uses rock type Pokemon, Misty uses water type Pokemon. Both will overpower a fire type Pokemon. So it is a little bit of a difficult challenge. You would have to start capturing Pokemon right away if you want to start battling gym leaders. Here we have a baby Charmander though. As you can tell, it's not that big yet. Eventually Charmander will get to be about this big, so it's got a few ways to go. Another thing I can tell you about Charmander is that the tail, the flame on its tail indicates its mood and its health. Right now the Charmander's tail is burning nice and bright, which means it's relatively happy, it's healthy, it's an okay Charmander for now. If the flame becomes low, it usually means Charmander is weak, so you should definitely seek a Pokemon Center. Nurse Joy usually knows how to deal with this sort of problem, but it's very important that you don't let the flame go out. If the flame goes out, the Charmander dies, and a lot of trainers don't realize that. They think that Charmander is okay outside in the rain, and it's not. So if you do end up deciding on Charmander, I highly recommend you buy an umbrella, because it can die. Also, another thing about its tail is that when Charmander is enraged, it will glow very, very brightly. The flame will probably triple in size, which means he is very angry. This is the time when you want to soothe it with some Pokemon food, maybe an apple if you have it. Charmanders are usually in the wild, they're seen in packs, so they have a very pack mentality. They will bond with your Pokemon, your other Pokemon, and if there's any food, the Charmander will likely want to share the food. It will call out to its friends. So that's a good thing about Charmanders. They're very, very social. They like the community. So it will get along with other Pokemon just fine, as long as you're a really well-trained trainer, or else it can rebel. So I'll let you look at a little bit up close. Again, like I said, the tags come with every Pokemon. Just accept the tags. Another thing about Charmanders, and a lot of people don't know this, is that they love getting scratched at the bridge of the tail in the back right here. So if you give them a little nudge, a little scratch there, they will definitely become a little bit more familiar to you. Charmander, this Charmander is a baby, so it doesn't have any fire types move yet. But I believe at level 7 they will learn the move Ember. And Ember is a small flame attack. Um, it's gonna be the first flame move that he knows, and it will shoot from its mouth. So when that happens, be very, very careful. Even though they're little small flames, you should still have to be very careful with this. Okay, so like you should know, Charmander evolves to Charmeleon, and it's just a little bit larger lizard, and then that will evolve into a Charizard, and Charizard is a winged dragon, basically. It's a powerhouse. It's a dangerous Pokemon, but if you are a good trainer, it will obey. This is Charmander. Let's look at your Pokedex. It's almost ready. And let's jump to the next Pokemon right here. This one here is a Squirtle. This is a baby turtle Pokemon, obviously, because of its shell. Squirtle is a water type Pokemon, and it's usually the one most popular by girls. Girls really love Squirtle. A lot of girls from around here do look up to Misty, the gym leader, and since she raises water type Pokemon, they do fawn Squirtle quite a bit. Squirtle has a shell that will provide it with protection with moves such as Withdraw. So, say for example, in battle, somebody uses a Bulbasaur, and Bulbasaur uses Razor Leaf. Squirtle can withdraw inside its shell and will prevent a lot of damage done to it. It will still do damage to its shell, but it'll be weaker than if Bulbasaur was exposed and it hit him directly. So yeah, so its shell comes quite handy. Right now it's a little bit soft because it is a baby, but as it grows, the shell will harden and it'll become very, very hard. Also, its shell will help Squirtle swim fast. Definitely swim faster than you and I combined. Squirtle also stands on two legs. Sometimes they have been seen on all four, so it's like Bulbasaur and Charmander in that way, that it can go on all fours and it can walk on both legs. So it just depends on the Squirtle. Squirtles are usually very, very mischievous. They're tricksters. They like playing little pranks on its trainer sometimes. A lot of Squirtles have ran away and then they come back like a few days later, and it gives the trainer quite a scare. So I will advise you to keep a very, very close eye on a Squirtle if you decide on getting it. Squirtle is a water type Pokemon, but it does not know any water type moves yet. Like the other Pokemon, it's still a baby, but soon, if well trained, it will learn Water Gun. Water Gun is a relatively weak water attack, but it does help on those very hot days. Squirtle can just shoot out a Water Gun towards you, and it really, really, really does help. Squirtles have a community mentality. They're not packs like Charmanders, but they're not independent like Bulbasaur. They like to live in a community. They like to live in a community with others of their kind. So Squirtles are friendly towards other Pokemon. Just like I said before, watch out for the pranks it does play, because they usually tend to be very, very tricky. Bulbasaur usually like getting head massage like this. So if you do this, your Squirtle will very much appreciate it. let you look at it for a bit before you decide. But yeah, this is Squirtle. Eventually will evolve into Wartortle and then into Blastoise. The only thing I advise about Blastoise is to stay away from the cannon because it's very, very strong. It can shoot a hole through steel, so definitely can shoot a hole through your body. So be very careful with Blastoise. Let's check on your Pokédex. Okay, your Pokédex is complete, so here you are. Now I'm gonna let you look at the Pokemon individually for yourself, so you can get to know them a little bit better. This will help you decide the process of choosing one. I know the process is difficult, but I'm sure you can manage to find the one that works best for you. Alright, so I'll let you to it.
Squirtle.
Great, how was that? I'm sure you had lots of fun playing with the Pokemon. So I guess the question is, which Pokemon will you be choosing? I'm sorry, I can't. For some reason I can't hear you. What Pokemon? No, I'm sorry, I still can't hear you. Okay. Just let me know which Pokemon you think you're gonna be using. That's strange. I simply can't hear what you're saying. Okay. Come on, what Pokemon do you think you want to take on your journey with you? Sorry, I seem to not be able to hear what you're saying. I have a better idea. How about you leave a comment in the comment section down there, and you let me know which Pokemon you want to take on your journey. Yeah, sounds like a better idea to me, right? Alright, you get to that. Bypass.